Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Down in the Country podcast. I'm your host, Dylan Reed, and today we are joined by another up and coming country music artist, Riley Anderson. Thank you so much for your time today, Riley.
Appreciate you having me, man.
No, it's great to have you. And so, to dive into it, so you describe yourself as someone with a unique blend of Southern charm and raw talent. What does that mean to you in your identity as an up and coming country music artist?
I feel like I'm just me. Like, try to keep a positive. I'm a pretty positive guy. I'm pretty happy. I'm not. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, try to just be me and have a good time. But I also try to. I try to make that translate into my music as well, or even just how I deliver it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I just try to be me, no matter what.
And and being you, like, how would you describe yourself?
Um, I, that's great. I don't know. I've never been asked that. Describe myself. I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty funny most of the time. I feel like I'm fairly humorous. I tend to find the positive things, no matter how deep and dark the situation may be. I try to find the good side of things always. I don't know.
Mhm.
Just always stay positive. I guess I'm probably the
Yeah.
best word to describe it. Just
Yeah.
positive or just fat and funny.
So you kind of really take it by the horns of, don't take life so seriously because no one ends up getting a lot and no one ends up alive at the end.
Right, man. That's we're only here for as long as we're here, and it doesn't
Mhm.
seem to be a very long time, no matter what. So.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that. I woke up the other day and realized, I'm 29 now. I have one more year until I'm 30 and I was like, holy shit. I'm getting up there in age.
Yeah, I feel that.
Not to age myself, but
All good.
but yeah, so to kind of go into your music, um, so It's All Right and Raining in Atlanta are two singles where we're able to like hear your style from a melodic representation. Could you, firstly, could you provide an introduction of what It's All Right, um, the song and kind of what does it mean to you?
Absolutely. So it's the best way for me to describe it, and the message that it brings is like, no matter how bad you think things may be, or how wrong something's going, it always has a way of working itself out. I don't know how, I don't know when, and I don't know why, but everything always seems to work itself out in the end. And that's the whole, like the tag on the chorus is, even when it's all wrong, it's all right.
Awesome. And do you mind if we play a little clip of it?
Don't mind at all. I keep waking up here after looking for the light in a dozen different bottles. And I keep going back to where it all started, searching for the answer to my problems. And time after time, I can't seem to find why nothing ever goes my way. Well, maybe I'm the problem, and I'm the one to blame. Well, it's 2 a.m. and I'm staring at the ceiling once again. I'm going through it. Just my luck, this is where I end up, and I'm doing it to myself. It's a dead end road, nowhere to go. I wonder if it's worth the fight, even when it's all wrong. It's all right.
I love the cover art for that kind of brings back memories of when I was younger. That was it that 1990s, early 2000s alarm clock before we
I
had
feel like
iPhones.
everyone's parents have had that alarm clock.
Yeah, I just damn it, Riley. I just remember the sound that thing used to make
Yeah.
to get me up for school in the early morning. um, and then I really love the cover art in particular for that single, kind of like the effect of kind of the letters moving around too as well.
Appreciate
So
that, man.
um, were you kind of trying to communicate a particular feeling when someone was listening to this single of yours?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I say it every time I play it too. Like, um, just that whole thing. I've been in a really weird place about a whole lot of things lately, and I feel like a lot of people have. And um, you know, no matter what, it's gonna work out. Just,
Hmm.
it's like I said, I don't know when, I don't know why, I don't know how, but everything's gonna be okay.
No, I definitely agree. And um, in this particular song, the one thing that was very interesting to me is your use of like heavy drums, and then like kind of that rock and roll style, and then kind of your, your unique vocals. Um, was that kind of what you were envisioning for this? Like you wanted something with like a heavy drum?
Yeah, absolutely. Nick, and I think Nick did a great job. Nick Buddha played the drums on that track, and I feel like he knocked it out of the park, man.
Hmm. Yeah, like and that beat, even though it was like even though it was heavy, like one of the things I really enjoyed listening to it didn't really overpower your vocals or the guitar either.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
I'm always amazed how like you're able to take, and mind you, I don't come from a musical background, but it's like how you're able to take an instrument and vocals and lyrics and have them all sync up together and not will have one overpower the other. It's a talent.
Yeah, those it's I hats off to the studio musicians, man. They kind of just took it and made it their own, and we just they played them a work tape, and we sat there and listened to it a couple times and kind of got a good feel for it. And then we just went in and they just did their thing, and it turned out really, really great. I'm really proud of it.
And what was in particular for this song for It's All Right, what was the writing all the way up to the cutting process like for you as an artist?
So I was at a friend's house in the middle of the night, and there was a good group of us around the couches, kind of just throwing ideas back and forth. And our buddy Will Mosley, he had this idea that he had started, and um, we just kind of took it and ran from there, man. And we all
Mm-hmm.
just it was just kind of one of the things where it all just kind of worked out,
Mm-hmm. And
all
is
the pieces
that
kind of fell together. It was cool. Middle of the night though, but we got that song wrote. It was pretty awesome.
so? It was like a relatively quick turnaround.
Yeah, yeah, we wrote the song pretty fast, and then shit, I can't remember when we wrote it versus when we went to cut it, but there wasn't a whole lot of time between them. There was some, but um, yeah, maybe just a couple months, something like that. It was just a matter of getting the studio time and being able to go in and get it done. But yeah, and then once we went in to cut it, we tracked it and had the vocal done in a day and a half, and then by the end of a couple few, 4 or 5 days later, we had the master.
Oh wow, that's like within a week time frame.
Yeah, it was
Jeez,
it was pretty quick.
jeez. And were you expecting that it would take that fast to get done?
Yeah, so where I recorded that at, I've recorded two other songs, "Raining in Atlanta" and another one called it "Almost." And so I was familiar with with Ken and his process and um, his efficiency.
Yeah, awesome. And in that particular song, were you listening to, you talked about your experiences in the song, but was there any particular artist or anything that you were listening to at the time that made you want to cut a song like It's All Right?
No, we just kind of just wrote it, man.
You just
Just
wrote
kind of
it.
how we were feeling in the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, it's sometimes that's the best thing to do.
Yeah,
um, and so the other song that I wanted to talk about with you, and you touched upon it, "Raining in Atlanta." Could you just provide, like, similarly, like an introduction to that song and what it means to you?
absolutely. That's about as honest as a song's gonna get from me. It's and I feel like the majority of the stuff that I write and release is all about as honest as it can be. But it's literally like, so July 5th marked 2 years to the day that I quit my full-time job to finally pursue
Hmm.
music full-time. I mean, I've been playing live for almost 10 years now, but I've been maintaining a full-time job the entire time. And it got to where my job was getting in the way of my side gig.
Hmm.
So I had to ditch the job, finally take the leap, man. And um, it's literally as it sounds. I was stuck on the interstate in Atlanta, and I was just thinking, I was like, man, fuck this traffic. Because if anyone's ever been to Atlanta, traffic fucking blows. And and I was stuck on that where, like I was telling you that when we talked last time, there's this one spot on the interstate where like they bust 7 wide like a fucking NASCAR race, but everyone's at a standstill trying to see where they got to go because there's like,
Hmm.
signs just all across all 7 of those lanes. And I was stuck right there, and it was pissing down rain, and I was like, man, this sucks, but at least I'm not at work. It was cool.
Yeah. Do you mind if we listen to a clip of that song too as well?
For sure, for sure.
Let's do it.
Tell you it wasn't easy to leave that railroad line. The check showed up every 2 weeks, and the bills were paid on time. I could tell there was something missing. Felt like I was losing my mind, working 9 to 9 at a dead end job instead of chasing those neon lights. Right now it's raining in Atlanta. We're stuck on the interstate. Want you to know what I'm thinking about, yeah. I'll be back in a couple days. I'm just trying to feed my family with this crazy dream.
I will say, so the first thing is the video reel of Raining in Atlanta. Was that you actually recording the song?
Yeah, that was in the studio.
Wow. No, I really, I could see your passion for the song through the video reel.
Thank you, man.
Um, and it was, yeah, no, it's just amazing to me. Like, I find that those video sessions of when an artist is in the studio. I don't know if you saw the last time. I think it was actually released when they did the Toby Keith special of him and his last time ever doing
Yeah,
like the
going in the
studio session.
studio. Yeah, that was
That
cool.
those videos are like powerful.
Oh yeah,
Kind of really gives you behind the scenes look of kind of what it means to be an up and coming artist, and kind of showcases like it's really not all sunshine and rainbows and lollipops.
no, it's a lot of hard fucking work.
Yeah. And I really, that's what I really like. That's why I really love the video reel of that song, because it really showcases like, hey, like this is who I am as a person. This is me in the studio kind of making this track and making it meaningful, and hopefully you like it too as well.
Absolutely, I'm really proud of that song as well. It's I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
it's me. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
it's me.
yeah. Well, it's funny because just listening to that song for the first time, which is actually how I just kind of, my friend actually put your single. I don't want to say his name live on the podcast because I
I
don't
got
want
you.
him to kill me. But that's how I found out about you, was through Rating in Atlanta, and you
I
put that on the
appreciate your
playlist.
friend.
Yeah, but yeah, and it's just, and from there, kind of growing, Raining in Atlanta, and listening to your other singles. Um, I will say, as much as I love your other stuff, Raining in Atlanta is my favorite.
Thank you, man.
Um, and so specifically in Raining in Atlanta, though, I'm just curious. It seemed like it was much more of kind of that southern rock feel in relation to It's All Right. Is that kind of also what you were aiming for too as well?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't try to put it in any sort of. I'll try to put a genre on anything that I do. I don't feel like
Hmm.
I'm more. I don't know. It just kind of turns out how it turns out. I guess. I think it's all kind of got the same, like a similar feel as far as like they would correlate. You know, if they were released together versus being singles. I think
Hmm.
it would still kind of, you could hear it and be like, oh, well, that's Riley,
Yeah.
and that's my only goal.
Yeah.
I just wanna sound like me.
Yeah. Kind of like, I'm Riley Anderson, get the hell out of my way. No, I know I like that. And so specifically for this song, what was the similarly like what was the writing all the way up to the cutting process like for this one?
So I had that hook idea that it's raining in Atlanta and I'm stuck on the interstate, and initially I threw the idea at a guy named Lil Skinny. His name's Ethan. But his name's Lil Skinny. He's not a rapper. He plays music as well and he writes. And I threw the idea at him one night. We were on some of them beers, and he kind of mumbled this couple lines out, and the only thing that I caught was "settle down like dust in the rain," and so we kind of wrote the verse to fit into that. Um, and then another good friend of mine, Carter Cross, he and I we sat down and wrote the rest of the song.
Mhm.
Got it all good and ironed out.
Wow.
Perfect.
And was it a pretty similar process? It was relatively quick turnaround. Like It's All Right.
Yeah, yeah. Same thing. I recorded at the same place. We got it wrote pretty fast. Um, I played it around a good bit in town, like up in Nashville, before I went and cut it because I wanted to make sure that it wasn't just me that thought, you know,
Hmm.
like this song makes sense, and everyone, we got some great feedback, and everyone really, really loves that song. So it worked out.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to ask you: is raining in Atlanta now going to be a staple at your shows moving forward?
Oh, absolutely. It has been since before we ever recorded it.
Oh wow, no, that's great. And it's all about just finding that one song that everyone is like, this is, and then you're really off to the races.
Yeah, slowly but surely, this thing's working itself out.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, no, and just out of curiosity, um, with those two songs, like what did you learn about yourself from writing It's All Right and then writing in Atlanta? Like, are you still trying to figure out kind of what your sound is, or are you pretty confident like, hey, this is me, this is Riley, this is what I really want to be in the country music space moving
That
forward?
part, I feel like I have. Yeah,
No, that's great. And that's really what it's all about. It's all about finding like, this is what I'm good at. This is who I am. And then, you know, it's
yeah.
all about trying to, communicating that effectively to other people. But yeah. And then, so just to kind of go even further in the conversation. So you're actually originally from Canada.
I
Uh,
am. I've
but
lived here longer though, so I got my citizenship back in 2013, so 11 years ago.
uh-huh.
But I moved to the States in 2006. So, I mean, I'm bona fide certified. I got papers like a fucking golden retriever, baby.
But so congratulations, first of all.
Thank you, man.
So, but you on your website you talk about you're from the heart of Leesburg, Georgia. So how are each of these places? How are they felt in your songs when your audience listens to your music? Like, what do you want them to get to know about each of those respective places?
Yeah, I don't really write too much about Canada. I left there when I was 14. I haven't really wrote anything about being a kid or growing up, you know what I mean, growing up or anything like that yet. Maybe I have. It just ain't out. We don't know.
Mhm.
Um, But I lived in Leesburg more longer than I lived anywhere in my entire life. I bought my first house there. I mean, I lived there for about 11 years. I haven't, other than that, I think the longest I ever lived somewhere was maybe 6 years. So Leesburg is definitely home. I mean, I got so many friends there that are more like family than they are friends. You know what I mean? And it's we got a really really good support group there and a good group of folks. And it just really is a great place.
And do you try and go back as much as you oftenly
Absolutely,
can?
as much as I can.
No.
I
And
pop in there every now and then.
hey, I'm here. Like just just kind of showing up for dinner and not telling anyone.
Yeah. I just so like I'll buddy of mine. He's got like an automotive shop. I'll just like last time I was there, I just popped in and walked up in there and sat down. Like man, I
Wow.
walked in. Yeah, it's just shit like that, man. I just go say hey. You know, at the end of the day, it's I don't know. I don't think it's like some oh he's back home type thing. Like shit, I'm home. Yeah, it's good to go see everybody.
Yeah, that's all. And in particular, is it kind of like one of those towns where Jimmy knows Sam and Sam knows Mary and Mary knows Sue and like,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
oh wow, so like you got to really like be on your best behavior then when you go back
No,
home.
man, I'm still just gonna be me. It's cool. I just catch shit if I don't. So it just depends how much time I have, depending on where I go and who I see, and I'll just catch shit from some of my friends for not coming by and seeing them, and then I just make sure I see them next time.
Okay.
It's just shit like that. They just rag my ass if I don't go see them,
No,
which
that's
I want them to though, because if I knew that they were around me and they didn't come see me, I'd rag their ass too.
no, that's a definition of a good friend right there.
Oh yeah,
So I also wanted to congratulate you. So you reached 50,000 all-time plays on Apple Music. And how do you remind yourself not to lose those honest, heartfelt lyrics that listeners are attracted to when listening to your music, and having them reminded that you're just Riley at the end of the day?
that's it, man. Just be me. It ain't. They're just numbers. I mean, it's cool. It's a big milestone for me. I never thought that people would listen to that, especially at that kind of volume.
Mhm.
Recently, we hit 75,000 all time on Apple Music since the 50. It's weird. We're getting really close to 100,000, and it's just weird to even think that motherfuckers would even want to hear me that much. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Yeah.
cool as hell. I really I appreciate the love on all the music and I don't know, just the support. Like it's very motivating. The fact that there's that many people out there that listen to my stuff.
Yeah.
It's fucking cool.
Yeah. No, and it's and because of the internet now, it's like, there's just so many different avenues and opportunities to see what the talent is like in the country
Absolutely.
music space. Like, I'll be the first to admit, like, I did not know who you were until, my friend made that um, playlist. And I was like, because of that playlist and because of him, I want to make sure he gets credit. I would have no idea who the hell you were.
Yeah.
Um, but it's just and it's just the talent that's out there now too. Like it's insane.
Oh, it's unreal. There. I mean, there's every corner, wherever there's somebody singing their fucking ass off.
Hmm. And it's a grind.
No, absolutely. It's tougher than a regular job. I will say that.
Hmm.
It's not the most glamorous lifestyle, but I don't know. It don't feel like work. You know what I'm saying? Like it's work. It's hard fucking work, but it don't.
Hmm.
I don't know. Like I'm gonna do it either way, so I might as well do the
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. Well, it's like if if you truly believe, and I'm going to say this to you as a friend, if you truly believe that this is what you're made to do on this earth, then screw everyone else's opinion. You do you at the end of the day.
Right. That's kind of where I'm at.
Hmm. Awesome. No, that's what I like. You're so confident in yourself too, as well. It's like when I listen to your music, I'm like, wow, like this guy knows what he wants in life.
I
Um,
appreciate that.
no, of course. And what is country music? What does it mean to you?
I don't know, man. I don't know if there's really a definition. Um, I think it's just it's really one of the last forms of music where you can just be genuinely honest, or as genuinely honest as you possibly can, and that's what everyone is expecting or hoping for. It's cool. It's not. You can literally just go be you, and I don't know. There's a whole community that just takes it
Mhm.
all in. I don't know. Shit.
No, totally get it. And it's really it's interesting. I will say about country music is that it's very it's still one of the I think it's I don't want to say it is the last genres, but it's one of the last genres where I hear the phrase, or excuse me, the word radio. Like I don't hear rock radio or hip hop radio. I hear country music radio. Like my song was on the radio.
Yeah.
And you know, it's interesting how country music still holds on to a lot of that, and it's awesome. It's a lot of those kind of old fashioned, quote unquote, things like radio. I can't remember the last time I actually went inside of a car and turned on a radio. like, um, but yeah, like it's like amazing. Like that's how music is still broadcasted out to a lot of people here in this country.
Yeah, absolutely. But
Um,
streaming is definitely taken over terrestrial radio. I mean, terrestrial radio somewhat is fairly obsolete, I feel like. But I want to get my shit on the fucking radios.
yeah. Well, has your stuff been on the radio yet?
I've had some. I've been fortunate enough to be so there's like a local or like a statewide countdown called the Backyard Country Countdown. Um, I can't remember how many stations are in that chain that play that countdown, but uh, out of the first four songs that I ever put out, "Hollow Heart," "My Old Man's Old Man," and "Feel Like Saturday," they're all songs that I ended up getting. They all got, I think, 10 or 12 weeks of airplay. So it was really cool, and they did really well on that countdown. So it was a really cool opportunity to be able to hear my stuff on the radio. It was awesome.
Wow. And you said 10 to 12 weeks of airtime. Like, is
That's
that
just that's how long they have you on the countdown, and then they'll move to new artists. Because they're all about getting to give everybody the opportunity.
okay? Awesome. No, that's great. And and which leads into my next question of any new EP, singles, albums, writers rounds that you plan on participating in anytime soon.
I just put a song out uh, 2 weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
maybe more than that, 3 weeks. I don't know. It was a live recording from Live Oak in Nashville. I was playing a friend's round. Josh Terry, he's got a round that he hosts, the Raising Grace rounds, and we had a round, and we had Kurt Ozan. He plays dobro. He plays guitar. I can't remember what else he plays, but he tours with Luke Combs, and he ended up sitting in and playing on that round with the three of us. And I feel like out of all the songs that I got to play on that round, that one, it's called Alone. I felt like it was perfect, and it's raw, it's real, like it's from my mouth to the microphone to the soundboard, and that's it. There's no editing. We didn't go in and record anything. It's literally as it happened in real time, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm really proud of it. I put it out. I might be in town next week. I don't know yet. I get to go to Floribama next weekend with Raised Rowdy. They're doing a takeover at Floribama, so I might uh, stay around the house and rest up for that versus going up to Nashville. I don't know yet. We'll see.
Yeah. So I know this it wasn't part of the questions, but do you mind if we play a little clip of the Alone?
For sure.
All right. Awesome.
This one's called Alone. Out on these highways running from sleep, hoping one day soon it starts running down me. Trying to get adjusted, can't find nothing that can touch this restlessness inside me. Been living my life through headlights, coming out with the creatures at night. I only see the sun when I leave home. Been running on empty, really need somebody, 'cause no one answers when I call. Yes, I'm all alone on these roads.
So I played a longer clip compared to the other two singles that we were. That like I would have not known until you told me, until looking at the Spotify, that was live. Like that sounded pretty fucking good, Riley.
Thank you, man.
And
Yeah, that's as it happened.
It's as it happened. And you said, if I recall correctly, you said your friend actually took that video reel of you.
Yeah. So where I'm actually, that was in the moment, like that was at the round. That was as it was being recorded.
Oh wow.
Yeah, buddy of mine ended up taking that, took that video for me.
Well, he did a fantastic job, I will say.
Thank you.
Like in that particular, when you were writing, or excuse me, when you were playing that song, was it like how did it feel being from like a recording studio to doing something live? Like, does it feel different or?
Not really. I mean, I do it so much. I don't know. I mean, no matter where I'm at, I try to sing my ass off. You know, I try
Mhm.
to. I normally say I try to put my ass into it. But especially at a round or something like that, you know, I want people to see that. I mean, I'm gonna be me no matter what. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm trying to think of a good way to explain it. Yeah, I mean, I just, you know, I'm not gonna hold back no matter what. Studio, live, either way. It wasn't any different. It was, I don't know, like it was
Yeah.
cool as hell, especially to get to play with Kurt. That was awesome. And then on the song, you can hear Cole Goodwin, who does a little harmony. Man's got a beautiful voice.
Yeah.
He's singing shit out some harmony. He can sing great already, Cole Goodwin. But he ended up singing some harmony on that. It was cool. It just, I don't know. It's one of them magical moments, you know.
Yeah. Well, I will say I do love the strumming pattern for that song.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. It's like it's a I don't know if this is like the musical technical term, but it like kind of that hard acoustic strum.
Yeah, it's just like a persistent driving kind of feel. Yeah.
And it's like, and it kind of matches nicely to, is not to get too philosophical, but like it matches that strumming pattern matches nicely with your vocals and then the lyrics too as well. Kind of
Thank you.
really sets the mood for kind of what the song, like what you want the audience to feel when they're listening to you play this.
That was the plan when I went to write it. I kind of I wanted to pull everybody in before I even opened my mouth. You know.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask, uh, and you don't have to give any spoilers, but do you think you might cut this one?
Oh yeah. I mean, unless somebody else wants to, I'm not mad about getting a check now. But if nobody else wants to, then hell yeah, I'm gonna cut it. I love that song.
Yeah, and it's amazing to me, just kind of, I mean, what, talking about specifically, it's all right, raining in Atlanta, and then kind of with Alone. It's amazing to me, just you can listen to kind of the growth of you as an, not only as an artist but also as a person too, as well, while still holding on to like, this is me, this is Riley Anderson. I'm still
Yeah,
the same. I'm still the same guy from, you know, from the heart of Leesburg, and I'm not going to change anytime soon. So,
that's the plan.
Yeah. And I gotta ask you, how's So doing?
He's good, man. I just was saying earlier, I feel like I freaked everybody out. I put a video on Instagram putting them in a cooking pot, and my wife's good pot at that. So I got
Oh,
in trouble twice.
you get yelled at by the missus?
Yeah, no, it was all good. He's freaking out when I put him in there though. He started looking around. He's cool though, man. He's the coolest chicken I got. The rest of them, they kind of don't like me, but we're figuring it out.
Yeah. And
I just go out there into their run in their coop, and I just like, let me love you. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I wish you loved me like I love you, you motherfucker.
Well, how many eggs do you guys now have?
Well, so I fucked up.
What
When
you
you
do?
buy, I fucked up and I got Bantam chickens. They're smaller.
Uh-huh.
What I didn't know, when you buy them, they're not sexed. They're what's called straight run.
Okay.
So it's like you're gambling.
Okay.
And out of the first four that we bought, three of them ended up being roosters. So we just got one hen that gives us an egg every other day or so, every day and a half.
Okay.
She's paying rent for everybody. And then we got four more, and two of them ended up being roosters. So we got five fucking roosters out there. We got two more that we're waiting. They should start shitting eggs out in like 5 or 6 weeks. So we'll be getting like 3 eggs every day and a half or so. But I just recently, like a couple weeks ago, I bought 6 more. They're right behind me. They're not big enough to go outside yet. Hold on, I'll grab them. I haven't named them though, because these ones all kind of look the same.
Uh-huh.
So I gotta wait till they like get large and I can identify them.
Uh-huh.
Because they all really look like exactly the same right now.
Oh.
We'll just grab them all in a minute.
Smile, you're on camera.
Here's 3 of them. There's 3 more in the bin.
Oh wow.
But they all look the same.
Yeah.
Like, a little fluffy.
Yeah.
They almost got all their feathers, so they can almost go outside.
Do you have any names for them yet?
Not yet. These all look the same, so I can't really name them yet. I'm waiting until I can kind of tell them apart. Oh shit! Now they're flying out the bin. Yeah. Yeah, that's my chickens.
Yeah. They had their 15 seconds of fame.
What's that?
They had their 15 seconds of fame.
Yeah.
And so,
those are all hens, though. I made sure.
Those are all hens.
Yeah, I know how to sex them now. You gotta like look at their butthole, but it's easy to tell.
And so the last question I did have, Riley, is where can people learn more about you and also listen to your music?
You can learn more about me on my social media. I try to be as transparent as I can. I don't post a whole lot of shit, but I try to stay, current and post majority of what I have going on. I post a lot of, all my show stuff. I got a website, RileyAndersonMusic.com. Social media, it's all Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok are all at Riley Anderson Music. I don't have, what is it, X? I don't have that.
Okay.
That'd just be one more thing that I got to try and stay on top of, man. It's already hard enough. Like,
Yeah. And then musically, like, can people find
Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon. I mean, anywhere that you stream music, just look up Riley Anderson, and my fat ass will be there.
And be sure to subscribe to Down in the Country podcast on YouTube, as well as listen to the audio files on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Thank you so much again for your time today, Riley.
Thanks, Dylan. Appreciate you having me.
We